life by changing habits and behaviors.
Find out more by clicking Dr. Gill's icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
This is the WTIM morning show right here on WTIM, your information station. We'll be talking with the master gardeners in this second half. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors. Before we move here, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We have master gardeners Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith in studio with us. How are you guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing fine.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being in with us. Just before we get moving on all of our upcoming events and current events, let's talk a little bit about the current state of gardening out there. We've had some super hot days. We've had some little rain, little precipitation. What do you guys have to say? How are the current state of your gardens?
Needing rain, needing more rain.
Right.
And the heat can really be, especially I think when you get early heat like this, what I notice is plants like hosta that may be able to tolerate this kind of heat in July and August, and you don't see that much effect. Their leaves start to get brown and toasty. And so there are those things too. When the foliage is fresher, it's also less able to withstand.
Take the heat. And yeah, I've noticed that on hostas, and everything seems to be doing okay. At the help desk, we've had some issues with tomatoes and those kinds of things. But typically, we're not talking so dry so early. Yeah. And hopefully we'll get some rain in the next few days. Right. But it also makes weeding a lot more difficult when it's dry, because they just do not budge out of the ground. And so
you can't get them up, and they don't just seem to mind at all about the drought. They don't care. I have noticed this year I've had tremendously early bloom on. I have a large collection of daylilies and other things, and everything seems to be blooming very early. I'm already on the downhill slide, and this is usually peak. So it's very early. I had a bumper crop of blueberries.
Blueberries, right.
I've picked 46.5 pounds off of 3 bushes. And I still have a lot left. But anyway, it's been, but they also they seem like they are spoiling early, like if you don't get them off the bush. And again, now's the time of the year with those and other summer fruits like blackberries and some of your nectarines and things. The spotted wing fruit flies will start working on them, and they'll look fine, but then when you pick them, there's nothing there because this little horrible creature's been
sucking the juice out of them.
Exactly.
Right.
You spoke a little bit before we got on air, is that this is like August heat we're feeling right now.
I feel like it is. Yes. I mean, I feel like I'm done with summer now, and I'm like, oh, well, we've only really had 17 or 18 days of it. So.
Right. And we didn't really have a nice spring.
No.
It was just, we just moved right into this, and like Gwen says, the plants can't tolerate that, a lot of them, because it's not in their cycle to do that. They need the normal cycle like we do.
Well, right. Their cycles are more tied to the sunlight amount, the amount of sunlight and where the sun is in the sky. And then when you throw something like this at them, oh, that's not what we're used to. And it does really do a number on things. And you'll see things too. Like I said, I have had a lot of bloom, but you'll see a lot of things that the blooms either drop off or they don't bloom correctly or other things. So yeah, we've had an interesting summer. I would say with things like your lawns, if you have not watered them yet, I would encourage you just not to hold off on that. They will probably make it. But if you have started watering, you'd better keep it up even after you get your water bill.
Right. And also if you have planted new plants this year, it's incredibly important to keep the base of them moist, the roots moist, because once they dry out, it's going to be hard to revive them.
Sure. Yeah. Because that's the thing with new beds and revived beds and things like Linda says, if you've planted it and it's new, it's really going to struggle here.
for plants that aren't quite new this year, if you don't have them on a watering schedule, you kind of just said right there, some people are kind of waiting naturally. Is it either you have a watering schedule and you're not waiting for the rain, or you're waiting for the rain? What does that look like? You don't want to overwater.
No, you don't want to
No.
overwater. And as I said, though, the problem is once you've started watering with lawn, especially, you really almost need to keep it up. So think about that. It can go into dormancy. Lawn grasses are incredibly tough and can withstand a lot. So,
Yes.
if you can stand looking at it and you have not watered yet, I would just not.
Sure.
And your plants, like you said, if they are established, they'll do fine.
Okay.
You
Right.
know, you don't
Right.
have to worry
Sure.
about them
Right.
because, and if you mulch them, there's plenty of moisture down there. Even today, there's plenty of moisture underneath that mulch. So it's a good idea to keep that. Keeps the weeds down. It keeps the plants compact. It keeps the root system going throughout the year. So mulch is a great thing. My husband always calls master gardeners master mulchers. That's what you do. And he's pretty much right.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Sorry.
Gwen, you mentioned briefly that some of the weeds or maybe the unwanted plants, they don't tend to care about the heat. They persist. They pop up.
Right. I mean, they persist through herbicide. They
Huh.
persist through us pulling them. They persist through drought. They persist through everything. Salt on the sidewalks. It doesn't seem
Doesn't
to really
bother them.
phase them.
Right.
So it's all the same to them. It seems, but those things that we really want and care about, that's what
The
right.
tender plants. Yeah.
Uh-huh,
They're
exactly.
susceptible to all kinds of things.
Whether it's the hot heat or insects, they've all gotten a
Right,
taste
right,
for,
yeah.
for these native
Yeah,
plants.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Japanese beetles, for one, came early this year
And very heavy. They're
very
very,
heavy.
very
Whole
heavy.
lot out there. What are those attacking mainly? Those Japanese beetles?
Mainly roses, some fruit. They will go for grapevine, usually the leaves, not the fruit. So you'll see a lot of that on grape, linden trees. There are a few other, and sometimes they just adapt themselves. My particular brood has decided they really like my climbing hydrangea. And it just looks like I've taken rust-colored spray paint and sprayed the outside edges of it because they've just eaten it. And they skeletonize the leaves. They will eat the flowers of things like roses directly, but the leaves tend to get skeletonized and then they turn
Mhm.
brown.
Mhm.
So
There's our monthly growth, our garden growth update with the Master Gardeners there. Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith, both in studio. Let's talk a little bit about an upcoming event with the Master Gardeners. What are we looking forward to out there?
okay, we are got a program going on Wednesday, July 24th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. out at Davis Memorial Christian Church and the Taylorville Community Garden. It's called From Garden to Table, Maximizing Fresh Produce Year Round. And Lisa Peterson, Extension Educator in Foods and Nutrition, is going to be leading us in how to maybe take best advantage of that fresh produce while it's fresh, and also how to preserve and store it for later so that you can enjoy your garden produce throughout the year. Part of this is going to be a tour of the community garden. And I was out there last week, Monday, with Jerry and Gerlinda Johnson, who are the volunteer coordinators of that garden. It is a lovely, it's not just a vegetable garden. They've planted pollinator type perennials and annuals, big annuals like cleome and zinnias, and to help with pollination out there. Lots of stuff you can learn. It is a beautiful area. They use a lot of chipped and shredded leaves to mulch. And they have, like, you'll learn about things like water pressure reducers and how they water the plants. He's got all of his zucchini and cucumbers have got like the rims of buckets around them. And I said, well, what are those for, Jerry? And he said, well, they're actually so that the volunteers know that you stick the hose in, count to 30, and then move on to the next one. But it's really it's an education, but it's also lovely. They have it's 8 or 10, maybe it's 8 house purple martins out there, and they were like dive bombing and going over my head while I was there. It was like 6 o'clock in the evening. It's about the time they're all coming home to roost. So, but those are, and what you might not know about birds like purple martins are that they are fantastic insect control, much like bats.
Wow.
Bats get a bad rap, and people are always worried about finding bats, but those guys eat lots of mosquitoes, which I understand we've already had some positive West Nile virus tests on mosquitoes in the area. I don't know if I've heard anything about birds or people, or horses, but anyway, they've got that. So anyway, but I would just encourage people to come out. It's a lovely garden. I felt like I have seen community gardens in cities as big as East Peoria and Moline, and this one is right up there with it. I mean, they don't have like tremendous, they're not trying to grow every kind of crazy thing known to man, but what they are doing well. And it gives you a great idea on some supports for things like tomatoes, which challenge us all.
Wow.
Well, we drove by there last night, and it was so colorful. I mean,
It's
colors
very
are
colorful.
beautiful.
Right. Because they've got liatris and phlox, and just all sorts of things. It's really will be a pleasant visit. I think people will enjoy the little that part of it as much as anything.
So not only a lot of education to be had out there, but a lot of enjoyment. This is going to be really fun to see these
I think
grounds.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, I went home and got my husband, and I said, you got to come out here and see this. I said, I didn't realize how wonderful this was. And so, he put his shoes back on, which I was surprised at. Usually he resists me, but anyway, he said, okay, I'll go. And he was just blown away. So
Cool.
And Jerry and Gerlinda, I'm sorry, I'm butchering their names, but they are wonderful. He's just so knowledgeable. And I'm sure that he'll be sharing his tips and tricks and the things he's found that work out there. His tomatoes are supported with parachute cord.
Whoa. Okay. There's a whole lot to be a whole lot to learn out here at this one. Before
we'll let it at that, right?
Right.
And then when we're off, we're going to learn about what a parachute for tomatoes actually is. But Gwen, before we go here, can you one more time name off when and where this is? This great event?
It is going to be at the Davis Memorial Christian Church at 1500 West Franklin on Wednesday, July 24th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. You can register online at go.illinois.edu/garden2table or call 217-287-7246.
Just perfect. Alrighty, it's time for us to take our quick time out, but we're speaking with our master gardeners, Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith, on our WTIM morning show. Don't go anywhere. You've been listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Does your bank offer rewards on your qualified signature-based debit card purchases? If not, then we need to talk. Hi, my name is Jeff Grimmett with People's Bank and Trust. Join the growing number of our customers who are earning cash back on all qualified debit card purchases. You already use your debit card now. Make it work for you with Save by Spending. Rewards from People's Bank and Trust. Earning rewards is as easy as shop, sign, and save. Call 888-PBT-1954 and find out more about our Save by Spending rewards program today. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Kate Hames here from PS Printing in Taylorville with some exciting news. Our printing business has moved to new, larger digs in the former Milling Millwork building at 405 West Main Cross. You'll still get personal service you've come to know from PS Printing since 1978, but in a larger space. We look forward to providing our complete printing services at our new location. Come check out our new location at 405 West Main Cross at the former Milling Millwork building. Online at psprinting.com.
Dr. Emily Smith here from Taylorville Community Eye Care across from Taylorville High School. Parents, this is your reminder to prepare your children for the classroom and school athletics. Good vision and eye protection go a long way to success in school. Give your family's eyes the love they need. Schedule their routine eye exams today by calling 287-2020. Taylorville Community Eye Care, enhancing vision, enriching lives.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Luke Milan here from Milan Mowing, offering complete lawn care services to all of Christian and surrounding counties, and we are accepting new customers. Find out our lawn care options by clicking our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM AM, FM, and online on the WTIM mobile app and Amazon Alexa is your ag information station with over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming and our own local farm broadcaster. Tune into WTIM, your ag information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station. In this segment, we are speaking with the Master Gardeners, Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We talked with Gwen Podesky, Linda Smith in that first half, current state of gardening affairs out there, and an upcoming program over at Davis Memorial Church on July 24th. Before we move, Gwen, where can people go online for more information on that one?
go.illinois.edu/garden to table.
Garden to Table. That's going to be a really great one out there. A really, really great community garden. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk cicadas. We held off on the cicada conversation for 1 week. And now I feel like this is a good time to pick it back up. What have you guys been seeing? Are we at the back half of this thing?
Oh, I think we're on the downhill side of it and the damage that's been done. But I think people probably will realize, if they haven't realized already in the past week or so, the damage that they did to certain trees will continue to show up. Winds will blow the damaged leaves down in your yard, and you'll say, what is that from? You know,
right?
And
or you'll look up and see the tree, and it'll be like just all over the tree will be dead little ends of the branches where they've laid the eggs and things in the branches, and you'll think, and you know, if you've forgotten the cicadas because the newsman will quit covering the cicadas, you'll think something's wrong with it, but it's actually that.
And it's very spotty.
Yeah.
Here, there, nowhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
And
It's amazing. It's just
what they
weird.
choose and what they don't choose. And of course, timbered areas are more prone to them because that's where, I mean, in our backyard, which is close to a timber, there was like a grid of holes in the ground, every inch to 2 inches.
like somebody had aerated.
Somebody had aerated it, you know, and I thought at first, what is this? Then when I realized what it was, I thought, oh, we're in for a big problem with the trees in our timber. And you can look up and you can just see, you know, riddled with, it looks like you've hung Christmas decorations on them that aren't pretty, you know.
So where do we go from there? I mean, are these trees done for?
Oh, no.
Not the
Okay.
big ones
Okay.
are not. The small ones, if you didn't get your small trees and like the top was pretty damaged, don't know. But if you got it covered, if you got your tree covered or you don't see much damage, I think you're fine. The most problem will be with particularly oaks, because if they get that head leader, that really can do some damage, some long-term damage on an oak tree if its main leader is
right.
Very
been
interesting to
damaged,
learn
so,
about the younger tree protection plans that we were talking about months
and then
ago.
we can just forget it for
Yeah.
13 years
That's
while
right.
they go about their business underground, I
Just
suppose.
perfect. Just perfect. I'll be happy to forget about the loud noises and the broods, the absolute.
Hopefully you didn't get used to eating stir-fried cicadas.
Yeah, sorry if that became your thing there. Master Gardeners, we are in our last minute here. We got to wrap this up quick, but let's talk farmers market real quick. Were you guys out this past Saturday?
We were not, but we will be out next Saturday, and then we'll miss one. And so we're out there about twice a month. And we usually have the big orange tent that says Illinois Extension on it.
Perfect.
And we get lots, we get people talking with us. I like it because we learn things that are going on in the
communities.
and kind of sometimes it's like I was talking about the poison hemlock, and we've had several people ask us about that. And we always tell them, yes, you should remove it, but yes, you should be dressed basically in a hazmat suit practically to keep yourself from getting affected.
Absolutely.
And then we've also got the help desk, which is Thursday mornings from 9 o'clock until 11. And we always ask people if they can either come in or call. If they come in and bring a sample, try to put it in a Ziploc bag and close it so that the sample stays fresh, so to speak, and we can see what the problem really is.
Perfect. We are all out of time, Master Gardeners, but thank you for coming in today.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Master Gardeners Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith both in studio with us for our WTIM morning show. You've been listening to WTIM, your information station.
Also producing dangerous storm surge and bringing fierce winds. Boeing will pay another